Hey, what's your Shrimplets, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's topic, we will talk to you guys about why do shrimp eggs drop before releasing and why do babies not survive. So these are the two very similar topics but very different approach. So without further ado, I'm just going to talk to you guys on the first one, which is why do shrimp eggs drop before releasing. So there are a few factors involved, and I'm just going to pan to one of the tanks that I actually used to have a lot of problem, and I'm still getting some challenges there, but this will be a very good example for you. So over here we actually have the orange eye yellow King Kong shrimp, which is the carry dinner shrimp. And one of the reasons that I'm using this as an example is that I actually have some difficulties in terms of breeding them, and every time when they breed they have a full clutch of eggs, but they do not have many babies. So over here you can see over some time you can actually see that there are a couple of babies over here. They will get to maturity and then they will breed again. But what made this a good example is because shrimps, for example, when they breed, and like for example on this side, they may breed and they may bury, but they may also have a bad clutch, which means that, for example, if they have a bad clutch, they will not be able to have the babies. So they will then after that, kick away the eggs, which will then be termed as bad clutch. Another one will be when they are overly stressed. Like for example, over here in this tank, there are actually more males to female. So the males, you can actually see the males will actually start to attack the female or harass the female, which makes them a little bit more stressed. And when they are overly stressed, they will tend to throw away the eggs or kick away the eggs. But over here you can actually see that there are still babies in this tank. Pardon the reflection. And you can actually see that there are still babies in the tank. But however, when there are a lot of males in the tank, they will always harass the female. So what you can actually do is that in terms of tank setup, you might want to actually remove the males from the tank so that you will give the females more breeding space, or you can have more coverage or more hiding space and things like that. So you can have a large piece of moss over here, you can have like sponge filters, and then they will actually help to provide more coverage. Another thing when that happens is water parameters. Water parameters, like for example, if we get this stream from, let's say we get this stream from somebody that is not based in Singapore, and then the water parameters between them and us might be a little bit different. So we will take time to actually kind of like acclimatize to it before they breed. So probably 1 or 2 clutches, they will kick away the eggs, but however, over time they will get used to the water parameters and then they will breed. Another more interesting topic is the air pressure. So for example, I have this is a very common shrimp, it's a red King Kong. So this red King Kong, like for example in this case, I do have the shrimp kick away the eggs through molting, which means that they molt with the eggs. However, it does not mean that it is a bad clutch. So a lot of people will then take the mold with the shell and the eggs, and then you put it in a net and across a filter. So when they hatch, they can actually hatch successfully and the babies can actually survive. So I actually took this with the mold and the eggs, and then I just put it into a net, and then the babies actually survived. So what actually made this tank shrimps have problems? I think one of the things is that there are a lot of changes involved. Also, the filters are really old. I know there are some people who swear by it, like old filters, but over time I think there are a lot of challenges with the old filter. I would recommend that what I'll do with this tank is that even regardless of how much water change I have done, I will probably change away the filter and then get to where it should be. So it does not mean that it is a bad clutch when the mold carries the eggs. So you can actually do it. So sometimes it's also affected or impacted by air pressure. So atmospheric pressure, like for example when it starts to get rainy, then the air pressure actually helps to induce molting. and that is also one of the reasons why the moat gets removed. So which means that this tank is unconducive for breeding versus other tanks. We have a lot of other tanks which you can see. I actually have another Red King Kong, Red King Kong tank. They have a lot more streams over here and they are breeding really well. There's a lot of streams over here, and comparing this tank, which has a larger water volume, more stable water parameters, versus this tank over here, which is a smaller water volume. Of course, there is still, it's not many streams. However, this tank has always got some problems. So another aspect of why do streams egg drop before releasing is due to inbreeding. However, inbreeding is not so significantly impacting our current stock streams over here. So I think we can usually rule that out for the time being, because it will take really many generations for the streams to actually have an issue with inbreeding. So that's the first part on why do stream eggs drop before releasing. And so the next part of it is, why do babies not survive? So for example, I have another tank over here. I think over here is the orange eye blue boat or blue steel, whatever they call it. This orange eye stream, I have kept them for quite some time, and every time there is babies on the side walls, on the wall. However, the babies do not survive as much or as many as you can. So over here you can actually see that this stream over here is already buried, but chances are the babies do not survive that well. And in this tank it should have boomed like this, like this, it should have boomed, but it did not. Like this tank, it also boomed. There's a lot of streams here, at least a few hundred of them. But however, this tank started at the same time, do not have that success yet. You can actually see that this stream over here is also buried. Just gonna try to get it in focus. And the reason why this is not getting a huge boom in terms of the babies is a few things. So the number one, water parameters. So is the water parameters right? I would say that probably the water parameters are not as forgiving as what the streams like it. So probably that's the reason why till now there is no baby boom in this tank yet. However, we have made some additional tweaks. The reason is because I have asked what is the source of the the general hardness, and of course I have also changed the soil from ADA to Fluver. So Fluver soil is less acidic. I do have a lot of success with ADA soil as well. So don't get me wrong, both ADA soil and Fluver soil works well. What I'm trying to say here is that probably this stream particularly do not like the ADA soil. So that's the reason why that switch has been made. It will take time for the streams to actually get used to it. And then, with that, are there any swings in water parameters? Or, are there any more additives added to this tank? So, if you know me, I do not add any additives. I do not add anything after the water change. So after the water change, we remineralize, and that's about it. We have kept a lot of tanks over here, and we have a lot of great success with orange eyes as well. So like for example, we have the red devils. There's a lot of red devils over here. And then we have the orange eye metallic. So we use the exact same methodology over here, and hoping that it will kind of like boom. And then, is there sufficient food in there? So like for example, in maybe these few cases where we have the Kallax ball and the Lupao ball, you can actually see that with that, the tank generally do much better in the sense that they have a lot more food, and you can actually see this is really overcrowded, and the water is really cloudy, like the same over here. It's really cloudy. There's a lot of streams. I think So when the discharge system is done, we will start to remove some of this stream so that we kind of like stabilize the water parameters. Over here there is simply too many streams, I would say. At least I think at least 200 of them over here, maybe 200 of them over here, I think. Yeah, so is there sufficient food? So I use a lot of mosses. I like to use mosses, and I also like to use Kallax ball and Lupao ball. And in terms of mosses, there will be people who do not like to use mosses because they are very, untidy. However, the moss mop method, now it has kind of like evolved, and we kind of like use it here. We just hang the mosses on the reset basket, and then they will start to grow. But of course, we are trying to make sure that the reset basket, the moss do not attach to the reset basket, because then it will create a lot of hassle during the reset as well. So you can see there's a lot of streams over here, and then if I use just the moss itself, it also works well. However, there are some streams that are really reluctant, especially if you do a lot of selective breeding and you try to get the patterns and the ones that you want. Genetically, they will be more inbred in that sense. But one good thing is that with mosses, there's a lot of coverage. It reduces aggression. It also helps to be more forgiving in the sense that if, let's say, you do not remove a lot of these males from the tank, the females have still places to actually hide. So yes, this video, I really appreciate the time. And for those who like this video, please remember to give a thumbs up. And for those who are new to this video, our channel, please remember to subscribe. And until next time, peace out.